By the end of the 2021, the situation between Ukraine and Donbass plunged into crisis. Ukrainian troops have amassed on the front line. In response, Russia amassed troops to its borders with Ukraine. Russia has explicitly warned that it will not tolerate an attack on Donbass. Russian troops along the Ukrainian border were supposed to contain Ukraine and convince it not to start a new bloody war as it was in 2014. Russia demanded that Ukraine adhere to the OSCE Minsk Agreement on a ceasefire, which Ukraine signed in 2015. But Ukraine has publicly reneged on its promises. I repeat, Ukraine has publicly refused a diplomatic solution of the conflict. After that, the degree of tension increased by another level, since it became clear that Ukraine will soon begin a second military campaign against Donbass. Russia, well aware that Ukraine is being pushed toward war with Russia and that war will begin soon, has stated that its patience is at its limit. This is why, at the end of 2021, Putin officially made a security proposal to Europe and named his red lines. He offered to give guarantees that Ukraine will not join NATO, will adhere to a neutral status, and that the United States will no longer touch neighboring countries. You can find the full text of the Russian proposal of mutual security guarantees yourself on the internet. I think personally you will agree, if not completely, then at least partially on these conditions, because they are more than mutually beneficial and safe for everyone. But the US and NATO members refused to even discuss the proposal and essentially told Russia to bugger off. Moreover, they ridiculed the offer. You see, they refused to acknowledge Russia's security needs at all. They treated Russia as if it's some kind of African country, let's say Somalia. Be sure to remember another fact. Ukraine has also renounced its neutral status. This dispels any illusions about poor, peaceful, democratic Ukraine, which has suddenly attacked for no reason. Ukraine has refused all proposals for a peaceful resolution of the conflict. But that's not all. With the beginning of the 2022, right during the New Year holidays, the United States launched another coup attempt in Kazakhstan, again a military ally of Russia. Kazakhstan is a very important ally for Russia. The Russian Baikonur Cosmodrome is located in there. The first human flight into space was made by Yuri Gagarin from this point. The New Year was a holiday for everyone, but not for the Kazakhs. Mass armed riots and an attempted coup began on anti-Russian sentiments. Everything was already so dangerous that at the request of the official Kazakh authorities, Russia sent troops to protect strategic facilities, including such as the Baikonur Cosmodrome. As a result of armed riots, more than 200 people were killed. Western news outlets also covered it, and obviously they supported the radicals. Few surprises there. In the USA you can end up behind bars for insulting a police officer, but in Kazakhstan shooting a police officer is a fight for freedom. Democracy, you know. But the most interesting thing is that the Western media called the protection of strategic facilities an invasion to Kazakhstan. It is so absurd. Kazakhstan is a military ally of Russia. Russian troops secured important facilities during armed disorders. This happened at the request of the official authorities of Kazakhstan. But the West called it Russian invasion of Kazakhstan. It's like calling the presence of American troops in Poland an invasion. So the US succeeded in spilling blood in Kazakhstan, a lot of blood, and creating radical organizations. Everything was very similar to the Ukrainian scenario of 2014. And yet, they failed to pull off this coup. And for sure, United States decided to make up for its failure in Kazakhstan by starting the war in Donbass.